Venture capitalist Mark Andreessen defines product market fit as being in a good market with a product that can satisfy that market. But getting there is not easy. So far, you've gone through 8 other steps in your marketplace journey already. And what exactly is a good market? What does it mean to satisfy one? So let's talk about what product market fit is in more detail. This video is all about how to reach it, what are the key metrics to track on the way, and how to build a growth engine that will help you get there and beyond. Let's start by breaking down that Andreessen definition of product market fit, being in a good market with a product that can satisfy that market. We define being in a good market as showing that your marketplace can become profitable in your initial constraint. This is the initial category or location you chose in step 3 of this guide. Even if you're looking to expand to new markets later, you need to reach product market fit in this first one to prove you can do the same in others. Being in a good market also means that your unit economics work. For a marketplace, this means that the revenue you get from your users is bigger than what it costs for you to acquire and serve them. How about a product that can satisfy that market? From a tech and operational perspective, a simple MVP won't cut it anymore at this stage. You need to have things working automatically to bring down costs. So raising funding can be a good idea if it's in line with your business goals. You may need it for product development to build the automation you need or to reach more users. The first thing you need for product market fit is liquidity. We've discussed the term a few times before, but now it's time to take a deep dive. Simon Rothman defines liquidity as the reasonable expectation of selling something you list or finding what you're looking for. On marketplaces, you have 2 types of liquidity numbers, supplier liquidity and customer liquidity, and you need to measure both. There is no universal liquidity rate that all marketplaces should go for. The only general rule is that it should be as high as possible on both sides. Supplier liquidity is the percentage of supply that leads to a transaction within a certain time period. For example, on Etsy, it could be the proportion of total stock sold in a month. On Airbnb, it's how big a proportion of all properties have guests each night. Customer liquidity, on the other hand, means the probability of a visit to your marketplace leading to a transaction. A simple way to measure this is to calculate how many unique visits you get in a month and how many transactions you get in the same period. If 1,000 customers signed up and 100 made a purchase, you have 10% customer liquidity. If you can filter out visits from your suppliers, the figure will be even more accurate. And as always, it's better to have a small group of users and high liquidity than a big group with low liquidity. If your liquidity is strong in your initial market, signs are you've reached product market fit. The next positive signs of product market fit are high repeat purchase rate and high GMV retention. When people are coming back to your marketplace, it shows that you're solving a real problem and that you're offering a good solution to that problem. If your repeat purchase rate is high, you can spend more money acquiring new customers since they will likely make multiple transactions. Another indicator of product market fit is how much GMV you're retaining month over month. A quick refresher on GMV. It means gross merchandise volume, that is, the total sales value of products or services sold through your marketplace during a specific period. GMV retention means how much of that you're able to keep. Let's break it down with an example from Andreessen Horowitz's blog. 10 users transact on your marketplace for the first time in January. They bring in $10,000 altogether. 5 of them come back in February and spend $7,500. This means that though your 1-month user retention rate is only 50%, your 1-month GMV retention rate is 75%. That's pretty neat. GMV retention is a crucial sign that your suppliers are succeeding on your platform. Olivia Moore writes, quote, "Ideally, suppliers find enough value to build a business on your platform, while individual consumers transact less frequently. An example of this is Airbnb. You may only book once or twice per year, but ideally, your host is filling the property every week." Unquote. Though demand-side GMV retention will likely be smaller than supplier-side, it still helps you determine your growth goals. And importantly, poor demand-side retention may lead to supplier churn as they're not getting enough transactions on your platform. In addition to liquidity and retention, look into your customer acquisition cost, CAC, and customer lifetime value, CLV. Customer acquisition cost means how much you pay to acquire a new customer. Customer lifetime value means the total amount of revenue you can expect to get from each customer. These metrics tie into your unit economics. To not run out of money, your CAC should not be higher than your CLV. One real-world example of the opposite happening is HomeJoy, a cleaning services platform that operated from 2010 to 2015. They grew fast, but subsidized cleaners so heavily that they were essentially selling dollars for 90 cents. Such growth is not sustainable, and HomeJoy is no longer. So how do you reach good liquidity, a high repeat purchase rate, and great GMV retention in your initial market? With the help of a growth engine. A growth engine is another word for the mix of free and paid marketing channels that help you grow your marketplace. Understanding what kind of growth to expect is important to set realistic expectations. Remember, marketplaces usually take longer to get going than other types of businesses. You need to choose the best strategies and growth levers for your business and see if they make a difference. And there are a lot of ways to grow a marketplace. I'll walk you through some of the most important ones next. 1. Search engine optimization and content marketing. If your potential customers are likely to search for the products or services you offer online or look for information on adjacent topics, SEO and content marketing can be great strategies for you. SEO expert Mike van der Heijden says about marketplace SEO. Marketplaces are such gigantic websites in most cases that the return on investment from an SEO perspective can really drastically improve the bottom line of a marketplace, but also improve the actual valuation of the company. 2. Viral marketing. This is a style of promotion that relies on your audience sharing your message across social media. Take this example from Tamara Mendelsohn of event marketplace Eventbrite. On the demand side, early levers were Facebook and Twitter as attendees shared the events that they had bought tickets for and encouraged their friends to attend. In a growth loop, those friends would recommend events to their friends, and so on. And a simple way to encourage loops, social media sharing, and word of mouth in general? Referrals. Give people incentives to share about your platform to others. For example, in the early days of Uber, around 30% of trips came through referrals. 3. Performance marketing. Online advertising campaigns, where you pay advertising platforms for results like clicks or conversions, can be a great way to grow. Google and paid social media ads are a typical example. If performance marketing is a good growth lever for you, and you should definitely test it before going all in, it needs to be profitable at this stage, meaning your customer acquisition cost should be lower than your customer lifetime value. 4. Sales. At the risk of repeating learnings from earlier videos, direct sales can still be the best continuous growth lever, especially for B2B marketplaces. Supply-constrained marketplaces can also benefit from a direct sales approach to reach product market fit, like Rescue Club, a Finnish leftover restaurant food app. Basically, any leftover food that's added to the platform gets sold, so the more restaurant partners Rescue has, the bigger its revenue. So they grow when they get more restaurants on board, and direct sales is the best way to do it. 5. Hyperlocal offline marketing for hyperlocal marketplaces. Do things like distributing flyers or joining local events one neighborhood at a time. As a strategy, it can become quite scalable if you become efficient and knowledgeable about best practices and are able to hire teams to do the work. Like the dog walking marketplace Rover. Founder David Rosenthal has shared that they had people go to dog parks and hand out flyers and coupon codes in the early days. For this strategy, it's good to have a high repeat purchase rate, so one customer justifies the intense marketing efforts. The key to creating a powerful growth engine is to test different tactics, figure out which ones work best, and focus on those, and switch it up if you notice something not working anymore. Choosing the right channels is all about knowing your audience. And importantly, remember to support your customer acquisition efforts by activating existing customers with email marketing or in-app notifications to increase customer lifetime value. And to validate whether your growth engine is working, high liquidity, high repeat purchase rate, and good GMV retention. They will eventually show you if your business is sustainable. So that's product market fit in a nutshell. Here are the main points once more. Product market fit means being in a good market with a product that can satisfy that market. You need to prove your marketplace can become profitable in your initial constraint, meaning category or location. From a product perspective, a manual MVP likely won't cut it anymore. You'll need to invest some time and money in product development. You can track whether you've reached product market fit by paying close attention to key metrics: liquidity, repeat purchase rate, and GMV retention. Your unit economics need to work as well. Your customer acquisition costs should no longer exceed customer lifetime value. To get those numbers up, it's time to build a growth engine. Choose the best strategies that work for you. You have a huge number of options, from SEO to viral marketing, from direct sales to hyperlocal offline marketing. So, you've reached product market fit. Congratulations! The next video is going to be the last part of this 10-step guide. We're scaling your marketplace to new markets. See you there.